So this is crazy. I always say this is crazy, but this is awesome. See this corner here? So I was just coming around the corner and I seen this guy coming, and Toby, I'm preparing because sometimes Toby barks and sometimes he doesn't. But I knew that he was going to bark because the guy was coming around the corner and he had glasses on. And so I when he came around the corner, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry that he's barking," and he stopped right away. And I said, I sometimes Toby gets a little startled. He said, "Oh no, that's okay." And I looked at him and I said, "Isn't this beautiful?" And he said, I said, "Do you come out here a lot?" I don't know why I even asked him. He says, "Oh yeah." He said, "I love this place." And he says, and this is crazy what he said. He said, "I am not a religious man." This is what he says. Now get this. He said, "I am not a religious man, but when I come out here, how can you not believe? How can you look at all this and not believe?" I couldn't believe what he was saying. I was like, "What did you just say?" And I just shook my head and I'm like, "Well, you're not going to believe this." But I said, "I'm a missionary." And I said, "I just got done talking to the Lord. I've been walking and hiking and talking to the Lord." And I said, "You are so right." I said, "Because this is where it all started. Creation. This is where we restore ourselves. This is where the healing is." And it just flowed out so naturally, our conversation. It was just amazing. And he's like, "Yes, you're right." And I said, God made all of this for us. And and then I said something about how I had that encounter with those young people, and I kicked the dirt, and I said, I don't know what people believe, but I said we were formed from that dirt, and God breathed life into us and made us a living soul. And then I said, "Have you been to Prairie Creek, the cemetery?" He says, "I'm going there today." And I said, "Well, they do the natural burial." And he says, "Oh, I love that place." He says, "Yes, they do it right." And I said, "Well, think about it. They do it right because we go back into the earth. That we go back into the earth. And this is how we were created." And then, because I told him how I gave these tracts to the young people, and he said, "Well, what's a tract?" And I said, "Oh, hang on, let me." I said, "I just put some in here this morning." And so I pulled out, and they were new tracts that I don't even use. I got them from the church. One was about prophecy, ancient prophecy. And the other one was about, I think, weight loss, maybe. It was actually a health tract. And I said, "Oh, these are new." But when I handed him the health one, I said, one of the things that we forget is that our health is tied into all of this. Really our spiritual battle. And I said, think about this. Satan, what does he use to kill us? I said, well, he tempts us with food and cigarettes and alcohol and all the bad stuff, right? And I said, if you think about God, we don't sit at his table. His table, fruits and vegetables, everything he has created to heal us, right? And he's like, "Oh, that is really, I never even thought about it that way or looked at it that way." And I said, "Yeah." And Satan's table is filled with junk food that is made to kill us. So if we would sit at God's table, we would have life. He's like, "That is so awesome. I never even thought about that." Anyway, his name was David, and he was so grateful. He was like, "Man, I just," and he says, "There are no coincidences. This is not by accident." And I said, I know that. I know that. So this was the first encounter of the day with David. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just so glad we got to talk." He says, "This is awesome." So you never know. You never know. And God gets all the glory for that one.